Just sit here and look sad for like the next 5 minutes while everybody comes and finds it again.
I don't quite know what is happening, Chris.
We were afraid this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Matt's computer's all janky.
There's something going on with my computer. It's been crashing all day.
Uh-huh.
And I think maybe it's time for something to happen. Maybe it's just time for another computer.
Yeah.
This one's kind of getting old. Hey, Doc. Yeah. So maybe this one's just getting a little long in the tooth. That's a bummer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think yours is old?
Yeah, I know. Someone sent me a message that said your video is frozen.
Yeah.
If nobody, it was Brad.
Yeah. So there's 14 here now.
Okay.
We're getting there. Sorry, guys.
All right.
It'll probably happen again.
Yep. Okay.
Technology.
Hey, Dylan's here. Michael's here. Terry's here. Yeah, guys. So if you're just now rejoining us, I'm having some computer issues, and my computer keeps freezing and crashing. So I need another one, I think. Maybe if Brad's watching, Brad, will you tell me what I should do? Should I just go get a new computer, or should I attempt to get this one sorted out? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
One's a couple years old?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years old.
Is
actually.
it that old?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, this computer wasn't great in like 2018 when I got it. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't exactly top of the line.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah. Anyway, so what were we talking about? We were talking about
videos and moving forward with videos, and how do you? I think part of the problem is, and you've talked about this even before, is you're like, I feel like I've covered most of this stuff.
Yeah.
And if you are like me, you don't like to necessarily go back and redo things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you never like to paint the same color twice. You don't like to make the same video twice.
But we probably ought to.
Yeah, and but it's kind of hard to do, and so you've got some new ideas on how to change them up a little bit and do them a little bit different, and get the Patreon members to kind of drive that bus a little bit on what they would like to see.
That's right.
Yeah.
So guys, we're back, and we don't know how much longer we're going to be here because, again, my computer is not playing nice.
Cross your fingers.
So we'll stick around as long as we can. However, if we go away again, we will probably just stay away that time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's some new video things that we're going to be doing this year, and one of them, what I said, so one of them is we're going to have our Patreon members at all levels. Even if you're in for $1, you get to throw out ideas for videos for us, and we will, provided they're not provided they're realistic ideas, we will.
And guitar related.
And I'm not gonna go try to feed a monkey or so. That might be something I would do. But yeah. A monkey. I don't. Yeah, but don't just come up with a bunch of
teach a monkey to make a guitar.
Yeah. And you know what I would do then? I'd go, well, we could do that. You just sign up for a class. Whoever said teach a monkey to make a guitar. No. But then so we want to have Patreon members kind of drive that train a little bit. We also want to we want to do some stuff with our industry partners. So like right now we're working on a series with Bitterroot Guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if we have a series coming with Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Steve from Maximum Guitars, of course, is a friend of ours, and I actually just shot a video for a new jig that Steve brought over for us. So look for a lot of that kind of stuff, because helping our industry partners helps them and they help us. So we have toyed with the idea of so somebody was like, how about making a guitar with
every time there's a light
I know,
on there, I'm like, no,
So here's another super chat from Greg Pearl. Hey, Greg, says money for shots. Cheers. New Year's resolution. I wonder if he's talking about shots like shots.
Chris's New Year's resolution.
Oh,
remember less beer, more hard alcohol.
Yeah. So he's not talking about really COVID shots. Yeah. Less beer, more alcohol.
Yeah, more hard alcohol.
You know what though? We haven't been drinking Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday after work. Mm-hmm. We've been getting out of here at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, yesterday you left.
Well, it was snowing.
It was snowing like a mother. Yeah, but yeah.
So anyhow, this is what happens all the time. Video ideas. Show me how to do stuff with tools I have. Okay. I can't sit down and do that, mostly because I've forgotten how to do that stuff.
Well, and part of it, and we talked about this earlier, is our processes have changed.
Yep.
A lot, and the reason for that is so that we can do things a little bit faster, and it's really, really hard to go back and do stuff slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. And frankly, and a lot of our processes are faster and they're more accurate too. And if you don't want to go back and do it slower and less accurate, and then try and use that thing as something. Yeah. That's what I think.
So what we were talking about yesterday, though, was the notion of doing. No one likes these, but a series of videos that are very short, like one step. Like we're gonna build a Telecaster body today. Like basic stuff. Like today we're gonna lay it out and draw it out. In the next video, we're gonna cut it out on the bandsaw. What do I do if I don't have a bandsaw? Well, you can use some of these other things, but we're gonna use a bandsaw. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. So I think it would be cool to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I think it would be neat to do that stuff, but at some point, like we can't stop doing everything that we're doing and make a video where we use like tools from Home Depot to make. We could do some of that stuff, but we can't do all of it, and we certainly can't, blow a huge chunk of time one day or 1 week to do that with, for a video that frankly, even at the most, how many people are going to watch that? Because YouTube's already flooded with how to make a Telecaster. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
In fact, when I say that, it kind of makes me go, that's a dumb idea. Why would we make a Telecaster using tools that everybody has? Because those videos are already everywhere. They're ubiquitous.
And we did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of doing a series of videos on what you will do when you're here with us in
that's
class.
A cool idea.
As kind of a primer for that stuff. And also maybe to get other people excited about coming and doing.
But I don't have a pin router at my house.
That's okay.
Because if you come here,
you'll have a pin router. You have 2 pin routers. All of a sudden, you are flush with pin routers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
if you were only going to make a couple guitars a year, you would be money ahead to just come here and make them.
Yeah. Yeah, really. And we're going to do some paint classes. I always want to call them Learn to Paint, but it's because Mike Learn is Mike Learn.
Yeah.
I don't want to call him Learn to Paint.
No, because we have those already.
Yeah, we're going to teach you to paint.
So people are like, cut out a body with a coping saw.
No.
Why don't you just like jam bamboo shoots under my fingers?
Yeah.
Well, how to make a Telecaster with a jackknife and a hairpin.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not doing that.
Dremel tool, Telecaster.
Yeah. Dylan says that's the best idea. I think he's talking about what you can expect when you come.
Yeah. I think that would be a cool video. But it would also, show the techniques.
Yeah.
Of stuff. And we always talk about doing that during classes, and we're both just too busy to film and too busy to even take pictures.
Sometimes it seems like that. Yeah.
So
John says your best videos are, hold on, the super chats are coming in fast and furious. John says that your best videos are the ones with jigs and old school heavy tools. More of those. That's a cool idea. I love those. Brad Hutchings, let's take a super chat from our good friend Brad. He says, I've been spending all my free time this week getting to know my Texas Ghost and my Challenger, and I'm in love.
Good.
The guitar of your dreams. It's like a multi-day three-way. That is awesome. Brad, can I please use that in our new website? Because that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Ken Tipton kicked in $5 and says, Happy New Year. And he didn't say it, but we know what he's thinking.
Chug?
No, yes, chug. Yeah, no, he's thinking about flying bees. Yeah, so lots of people want us to do dumb stuff with dumb tools to make dumb guitars. It looks like. I think there's a lot of
channels where guys do that stuff.
Yeah,
so they take something and might even say they wreck it.
Why would we want to be exactly like a different channel?
We don't want to be like all the other channels.
Yeah,
we want to be us.
We want to be us channels.
Yeah.
That's cool, right?
Yeah. And there's room for those channels, and there's room for our channel.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no desire to fix up other people's guitars,
or like build a kit guitar. That's cool, but
yeah. So why should I have to do that to appease? The select few that might want to see us do that. I think we offer some other stuff too.
Sure. There's lots and lots and lots of great channels where guys are making stuff with, and frankly, we don't have tools that are unattainable.
No,
we have some stuff that not every single person has.
Yeah. You got to wonder if guys like Dan or Brad Angove, get heat for not doing more with epoxy, or
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Do you think? Yeah. If it was me, why don't you make something out of colored pencils and epoxy?
Yeah.
Or
and that's cool, but
Fritos and epoxy. Oh, that might be what I want to build.
Fritos. Ken, here's a super chat from Ken. He writes,
fall apart.
He writes, I like your what would insert name of so and so do here. Mm-hmm. Those were fun.
Yeah.
Those were
we were
really
talking
fun.
About doing a what would Matt build starring Chris, and what would Chris build starring Matt. But
those would be fun actually. So
but I don't want to build what Matt would build, and I don't think Matt would want to build what I would build.
I don't know what you would build.
Yeah.
We'd
both just build challengers.
Just build we'd both just make challengers. That would be the best.
Here's what I made.
Oh, I made the exactly same thing.
Yeah.
It would be fun for us to build a challenger where you did all the woodwork and I did all the paint.
I was actually thinking about something like that today. I was like,
that would be amazing.
Because just because I'm the paint guy doesn't mean I don't want to paint.
And it doesn't mean that you don't know how to do wood stuff either.
Right. Yeah. So
and I think we all know that I can spray sealer.
You can spray sealer.
Nobody's business.
You can spray paint too.
I haven't shot paint in many years.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah. Well,
that might be a fun thing to do.
It might be. Yeah. We should think about that.
I might need to start.
Part of the problem is just finding the time to do it, because as much as you think it doesn't take any extra time to shoot video, it does, and it takes time to edit.
It takes a lot of time to edit a video too.
Yeah, and so it's almost like a second job.
Yeah.
Because it's not. You can't, as much as you'd like to think, oh well, I'll just film, while I'm doing the normal stuff I do. You can't do it that way.
No.
Right?
Well,
it's got to be a specific.
You can, but it slows things.
Well,
you're moving the camera and monkeying with stuff. Yeah,
but it just or you got somebody else filming, and that takes away from the other guys. Stuff and all of that. So
indeed, it does.
Yeah, it's like when you watch all those TV shows, those reality shows. There's always a camera crew behind those people.
But
and a lot of people just don't realize that.
And the camera guys are shooting, and the editing guys have the worst job.
Well, yeah.
But the guys who get to just sit around and yell at each other and throw things and make motorbikes, they've got it easy.
Yeah. But there's always a whole fleet of other people standing behind them. Yeah. And here it's just us.
It's just us. Yeah. Although we do have some photographers and some videographers every so often, which is really neat.
All the time.
Not all the time.
Yeah. On regular videos.
So guys, this is
everybody wants to come out and do some filming for free.
That's right. We'll put a cat dish out and we'll catch a cat. Guys, if you are interested in our live Q&A thing, that's today, and just put a bunch of question marks and we'll answer whatever questions we can take. And my hair is like not cooperating. We will answer whatever questions we can see and we can take about guitars and or hats. And a
lot of hat questions.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many hat questions I get, Chris.
In the guitar world today?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Ken Tipton writes. Question.
I always think this is a spot of sauce.
I have one here. Yeah.
Spot of sauce.
Ken writes, another good video is repairs. Well, I think you're right, Ken. Another good video would be repairs. However, Chris, how many repairs do we do?
We don't do any repair work anymore.
What do we not do anymore? Like at all?
Well, so we don't do repairs.
No.
We don't do outside paint work. You can't send a guitar here and have us paint it anymore.
That's right. So people ask me all the time. In fact, I got one today. Hey, there's a very, very nice guy sent me a message, and he's like, I had this guitar come in. It's got a bunch of little dings in it. And he sent me pictures. I couldn't see the dings. So I'm like, well, sorry. I feel for you, but we don't do any outside paint work. So,
what else don't we do?
You know what else I positively refuse to do? Strats. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've got a bunch of strats going right now, but I just had to give a guy his money back today on a Strat because he was like, well, I kind of changed my mind and it's taken too long. I'm like, okay, cool. Nice guy, really nice guy. So I just gave him his money back. And I'm like, but I look at it and I'm like, you can just go buy a Strat.
In almost any flavor you want.
In any configuration, in any flavor that you want. So like if you call me up and say, hey, will you build me a Strat? I'm just going to say, no, I won't. You know who will? The guys at Warmoth. They'll be happy to do it for you. And
Dylan knows a guy that will buy a body from StewMac, a real Fender body and a real Fender neck.
Oh, that's right.
Pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah, and then you get to do whatever you want then.
Yeah.
Only then can you do whatever you want. Yeah.
And it'll be so this sort of brings up something else that I wouldn't mind talking about a little bit. The idea that everything has to be worth more than you paid for it when you're done with it.
Which it never is.
Well, it never is. Well, no, but you're not allowed to buy a cheap guitar and have fun with it, fixing it up or doing whatever you want, and then just have this thing. It's always, well, what's that going to be worth later?
Yep.
Well, does it matter?
There's a couple of good questions coming in. Specifically one from Ken who says, now I wanted a matching fabric top, that one you did for me. Now I have to figure out how to do it myself. I think Ken's talking about a Strat. Fortunately for you, Ken, you can come to one of our Build a Fabric Top classes and you can do it there.
Yeah. And that is one of the bodies that we are
that's right.
doing.
That's right.
Because we don't hate Strats.
No, I just don't want to do it because the money that I have to charge for a Strat, you can get a hell of a nice Strat that says Fender on it.
And that'll be worth something.
Hey now.
That was just part of the joke.
We have made some really killer Strats.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. So Rick writes, where can Patreon suggest video ideas and how about what would Dan Armstrong do? First of all, Rick, I love the idea of what would Dan Armstrong do. In fact, I even have it in my tiny brain what that video would look like if I made that. I also want to tell you that Patrons can suggest videos to me directly on Patreon. You can just go to the Patreon thing and just plop something up there and I'll see it. Okay. So, okay. John writes, question. You'd mentioned getting custom pins made for the router for fitting next to pockets. What sizes would you recommend having made? John, we have pins that are, so if we have a 1/2-inch cutter, we have pins that are right at 500, and we have some 510s, and we have some 520s. So on the neck pocket or any internal pocket, if you want it to be smaller than your if you want your hole to be smaller than your template, what you need to do is you need to have a bigger pin than your cutter. So 10 or 20 thousandths would be what you need here. Who keeps blowing me up? It's Nacho keeps blowing me up. You know Nacho.
I do know Nacho.
Any machine shop could make you those pins, and you want to go oversized. You could also buy a roll of tape, which is something that I do quite often. I just wrap tape around the pin.
Yep.
And as I need to make the hole bigger, I remove tape from the pin and run it through until it matches perfectly. That's an old school trick. So I believe that's an old school trick because there's no way I came up with that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think I rediscovered it at the very, very best.
Probably. So. Yeah. And people are allowed to have the same ideas.
Yeah.
Somebody else you might have come up with it on your own, but doesn't mean somebody else didn't as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Jeffrey Egan writes, should the end of the neck be flush against the body in the neck pocket, or is a slight gap okay? I think provided that your bridge lines up properly, you should be fine with that. What do you think? What say ye, Chris?
I think, it's whatever you got to do to make it work. Ideally, if the neck fit perfect all the way around, that would be the best. But sometimes that just isn't feasible for one reason or another. Then I don't think ultimately it makes all that much of a difference.
Even our Challenger guitars, like they fit great. But there's a little, it's not like it's seamless.
No. And and if you put an angle, then all of a sudden the back of the neck pocket is different, unless you accommodate for that on your neck, which most people don't. You put a shim in, it changes it. There's a lot of people and a lot of talk of really tight neck pockets equals better transfer of sound and all this other stuff. And ultimately, this is wood to wood contact is where it's at, and stuff like that. But if you look back at the history of a lot of guitars, that's just not the case. And
now hold on, we are talking very specifically about bolted together guitars. Screwed together guitars. Because in the world of jointery, a loose joint is not good, and you cannot fill that in with glue effectively.
No,
that's not for tone. That's for sturdy.
But that joints. Also comes into play is a glued in neck sounds markedly different than a bolted on neck. Which is probably not true either.
And if it is, we don't care.
Well,
if you like that if you think that one sounds different than the other, or one sounds better than the other, great, do that. But how about this? So we have to be really careful, because what people are going to do when they watch this video in 2 years is they're going to go, well, those guys said that neck joints don't have to be tight.
No, that's not what I said.
But that's what they're going to think. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So in screwed together typical let's call it Fender style construction, it's not that big of a deal. In fact, there are some advantages to not having the neck be so tight in the pocket.
Well, there's the perfect fit. There's wildly loose. There's slightly loose, and there's too tight.
There's unbelievably
there's four levels of stuff, and 2 of them are acceptable and 2 of them are not on either end. Just crazy loose is no good, and too tight is no good either, because the paint's gonna bust.
And I think that in some ways Fender style guitars are more difficult because you finish the neck
Mm-hmm.
and then put it in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to anticipate how thick the paint's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have a little bit of wiggle. I mean, being 20 thousandths too loose
Mm-hmm.
feels really loose on a Fender because, you know, like you got like that big area there where there's no pocket.
Yeah, there's hardly really any pocket.
Yeah.
There's a little tiny bit on, the ones, there's a bunch on one side and there's almost none on the other side.
Yeah.
So you have, this much that makes it tight or loose.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and it moves in the, anyway. What was I going to say? It's going to be really impressive and everybody was going to be like, yeah, cool. Oh, I know. Stop taking apart your brand new guitar.
Who does that?
Lots of people do that. Oh, got this new guitar, neck pocket's loose. How do you know? You just took it apart?
Well, they jammed a bunch of picks or something.
Well, then don't buy that guitar. If you can see it and you're concerned about it, don't buy that guitar.
I bought it online. Who knows?
Well, then send it back. Everybody allows you to send stuff back. So stop worrying about it.
You could stop worrying about it.
Play the guitar.
Doc wants to know, I plan on getting templates from Steve for the May and August classes. Is it better to have them sent to you at the shop? Yes, Doc, it is. And if you have signed up for any of the classes, I have discount codes for your class for Maximum Guitar Works.
For each individual
class. So like if you signed up for the December class in 2022, I have a discount code for that. I'm working on getting emails to everybody right now. I'm in the process of doing that. It takes me a while because I'm lazy and slow. But what I'm driving at is give me a little bit, and there's discount codes to save money. Okay.
Yep.
So anyway, Andy Mandiak wants to know, what would Nacho do? I don't know if he knows who Nacho is or not, but yeah. What I can tell you is what Nacho would wear.
I know what Nacho would wear too.
Always an Iron Maiden t-shirt.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
All day, every day.
It seemed like for a while you and Nacho were like pretty much inseparable.
Oh yeah, Nacho and I were good buddies.
Yeah,
and he moved to Michigan.
If one was there, the other was there. Yeah. Like you'd go and see a show or something. Where's Nacho?
Yeah.
I mean, is Nacho here?
Yeah. It's just where is Nacho? Yeah.
Yeah. From the moment I met you till not all that long ago.
Yep. Dan writes, I would really like to see a video series of you building one of your challengers. And then he put a bunch of exclamation points at the end. I think that would be a cool video, actually.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the videos, that's what you're building.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah, it would be, one of the things that you and I have talked about is the idea that you do these series of videos. Each video gets fewer and fewer.
Yeah, that's the problem
watchers.
with video series.
Yeah. And so how do you combat that? Without making it the world's longest video, a 9-hour, everything you wanted to know about a challenger video, which I don't think you want to do. And you certainly don't want to edit that.
I don't. And I don't think I'd want to do a live video where here's me eating a sandwich for 10 minutes while
Well, I'd like to watch that.
Sure. Yeah.
Is it a soup day?
Yeah, it could be a soup day. You were saying that Ben has a video where he did like a 9-hour. That's cool. Yeah.
9-hour video. Yeah, that's cool. But
that's not the first time he's done that.
No.
So,
and you know what he had behind him? Camera crew.
Oh yeah. That's cool. So,
well, and we've done a little bit of stuff like that. We did those. What were they? 2-hour, 3-hour live things that were pretty.
And those got sporty sometimes, and it was on live TV.
Yeah. Yeah, and and that takes a lot of work. That's a whole other thing. That was almost like it wasn't almost like a second job. It was a second job.
Because remember,
every
it was
Saturday.
Every Saturday or every Thursday or something.
Every Saturday. We did a bunch of live classes.
No, it was Sunday. Remember, it was Sunday at like 2.
Oh yeah,
and then we have an hour. We're like, now we have to do another thing. Yeah.
That was those were fun, but it was a lot of work.
Yeah. So let's see. Channel bound fender necks, says Von Shank Guitar. You know, I was actually looking at a picture of bound fender necks today because we have. Let's get back to that whole like Strat thing. We have a Strat body. Are we going to Odyssey Beer Works after this?
We are, but these are light.
Okay, I'll have another one. So we have a Strat body that's ready for paint. And Chris and I are thinking Olympic white. And we have a Strat neck for it. And it was originally supposed to be, it's a bound neck. And I think binding is cool, but I think that traditionally Fender guys don't really like bound necks
on Strat.
Sometimes they do, and I get a lot of people jazz bass with block inlay and binding, or jazz master neck with blocks and binding. Got it. But Strats, you don't see a whole lot of those.
No,
not because people don't.
I think it's because at one point Fender was planning on binding all of them, and they did some of them, and then they decided not to.
So
there are some, out there in the world.
So what do you guys think about bound Strat necks? I think that's a fun question. But so anyway,
I think it looks classy.
I think it looks classy too. But I was looking up bound Fender necks, and I remembered the channel bound necks. These were like all the rage 5, 6, 7 years ago.
So what is channel bound mean?
You'll know exactly what it is when I tell you. They take a neck blank, a one-piece neck blank. They hog the fretboard out, but leave a little bit of wood on the ends, and then inset in the fretboard. So it's got wood binding, but it's one piece. And remember those? Yeah. They were like the cool thing, and I haven't seen them I don't even know if Fender still offers them. But yeah, so it was like there was a negative of the fretboard, and then the fretboard snapped in there almost like it was a piece of inlay. See if you can guess how they did that. Yeah. So it was all maple, and then they'd snap in and glue in like a rosewood board, and then they'd radius it, and it looked cool. The problem with it was it really that much cooler than it's sort of like blind fret slots. They're really awesome, but they're really hard to do without specialty equipment. And are people willing to pay for that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Some people are.
Yeah, I don't know. Just regular binding's cool. Wood binding's
regular
cool.
Binding, super cool. Yeah.
I actually know people that do not like binding.
I did that video where it was like all necks should be bound, and people were like, I hate neck binding. All right.
Yeah. And I've run into
someone's out there trying to get traction in the snow, I think.
Maybe, yeah. So yeah, I think binding's cool, but whatever.
So yeah, lots of people are referring to all their favorite necks here. Beavis Christ says, love that neck. I'm not sure which neck. Maybe he's talking about the inset piece. Ebony board, super flamey maple. That's cool. Maple binding, never have been a fan of bound necks. Okay. Our Challengers, we recently switched to a maple. We went away from plastic binding on the Challengers, and I really like it.
I think it's neat.
Every so often we'll still do some, but yeah. I like them.
Yeah.
I dig them.
Yeah. I like black binding on dark boards, even if there's no other binding.
Oh yeah, because it
just
I think bound necks look cool on unbound bodies, but not the other way.
Well, yeah, but even if you can't necessarily even see that it's bound like right away, it just classes it up a little bit.
Yep. JVan B 231 writes, I would buy an Olympic white Texas Toe Strat if that ends up on the website. Well, sir, it will. And speaking of guitars that are going to end up on the website, there are a couple guitars that are in the available now section of TexasToeGuitars.com. The last of the run of Challengers, there's one more is available, and the Rockabilly bow that Chris painted during the Build and Paint with Mike Learn class is up as of today. It's just been sort of here for a while. It's
been here, and we put it off because the new website is coming up, but we've had a couple people ask about a couple of guitars, and so we threw them up there today just so they're there.
Yeah.
So so you should go and buy them.
Somebody was asking the last live stream, are there any challengers available from that run? And there's one right now.
And it's a neat looking guitar.
Mega cool. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, and there'll be more coming. But
that's right. There's
how
many challengers are there? There's a buttload of them.
There are. Well, there's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, and a bunch of those are
in
paint. And some of those are pre-sold, and some of those are for guys, and this and that. But there's a bunch of challengers floating around.
It looks like some guys are having trouble seeing them on the website, so maybe I didn't push a button correctly. I will do that here in a moment. Slacker Deluxe sent us a super chat and says, "Here's to Bound Necks." Here's to you, Slacker Deluxe.
You think with a name like Slacker Deluxe, he might take the easy way out.
You would think so.
The easy way is no binding.
But you know what? Binding's cool, man. And we have a rule about binding, and that is it's as easy to bind something as it is to backfill and make the fret ends look good.
Yeah, I think so.
So, and I think you're right too, Chris.
Yeah. And I think it looks better. So even if takes slight, as I spit all over you, even if it takes slightly longer or is a little bit more work, it still looks a little bit cooler in the end.
Yeah. Let's take a super chat from our good friend Bobby Dill. He writes, "Hey guys, I have a double bound thin line Telecaster with a bound neck. Can you really have too much binding? I don't think so. I don't think so. Not on a Telecaster. No way.
Double bound is really cool.
Beavis Christ asks a great question. He says, approximately how many challengers have you guys built now? That's a great question.
It is a good question. We've been building them for a long time.
And there's many different variations. And like Mark 1 Mod 5.
Yeah. So early on, when I used to come over and in the old shop, and it was just weekend stuff, and you'd been doing that for a little while.
Yep.
And I think you had 2 or 3 that you were buttoning up. And there was one that kind of had a little bit of a carve, and there was, a couple others. And then you built some more, and then it just sort of started becoming a thing. And at one point, I think we built a series of like 7 of them, but each one was completely different as far as finish.
Yep.
And and
like different woods and everything.
We had 7 of them still. Yeah. And we toted those things around. And
I would say that we've probably built 60 or 70 challengers.
I was going to say 50.
Okay.
So we're probably in around the same ballpark. Yeah. And we built a lot of them. Yeah. Because really we built a lot of them. And
I mean, like if you look around now, like I say, there's a dozen or more that are going
that's true.
Right this second.
So it's probably, and we had 7. So we're up to 20 without even really breathing hard. So Yep.
But it's a guitar that we've made constant, I don't want to say upgrades, but constant little tweaks, different bridges, different necks, different neck joints, different this, that, and the others, different body widths, different pickup combinations, different control layouts. Remember we did the McIntyre Murphy one. That was completely different from all the other ones. So there's a bunch that I've forgotten about. Some of them were solid, some were hollow, some were carved top. You made a carved top. We're doing a carved top with Tony Lopes right now.
I made a couple of carved tops.
That's right.
Extra thick.
They had pine tops. There were poplar backs with maple tops, and there were all white limba. There's been so many different variations that it's hard to keep track of them.
Yeah. And they've all just kind of slowly gotten refined and
we finally landed on what we want to have be the actual guitar, the standard model Challenger. Yep. Greg Pearl says a super chat. He says he wants to make it out here and drink a Texas Toast beer with us. Greg, that would be awesome. I would love to do that with you. John writes, ever toured the old Gibson factory? Any equipment you'd like to add with your new shop? The giant body blank gluing wheel, maybe. John, I have never toured a guitar factory in my life.
No, Me neither. Are we talking about the Heritage Factory?
Let's say he is.
Okay.
Let's say we're talking about the Kalamazoo, Michigan factory.
Yeah.
I have never toured a guitar factory ever, I don't think.
In person? Lots online.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I remember once I was driving through Nashville with my dad. I was like 16 or 17. And he's like, let's see if we can check out the Gibson factory. And back in those days, I don't know if it's any different now. You couldn't just go in there. It wasn't like there was a tour.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was a tour every day. Hey, everybody, we're going. Like you go to Coors, you can go through the brewery. There's what, 10 or 11 every day.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. It's just it's a thing that they do.
Yeah.
But at the time, and this might be different now, you couldn't go to the Gibson factory and check it out. You couldn't just breeze into the Fender factory and go, hey, I'm here to go on the tour. Maybe you can. I don't know.
Yeah. For a while they were doing something like that. Every year at the Surf Guitar Convention.
Okay, but you wasn't like
Thursday,
just randomly you show up.
No, it was an organized thing, and
they might have that at Gibson,
or it was a special thing. Yeah, because one of the guys that was kind of part of the convention thing was also worked at Fender, and they'd arrange it, but they don't do it standard. I don't think at this point.
Is there any old school equipment that you would like? I love that Gibson glue up wheel was neat. You know the one?
Mm-hmm.
That was cool, man.
I've watched a little bit of Gibson videos from the newer factories, and they have some really cool stuff. Like if you were making a lot of guitars, there's some pretty neat things that they do that you're like, oh yeah, I guess why didn't I think of that? Why wouldn't you cut peg heads with
why wouldn't you drill
wheel with
all six holes
all
at once?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you cut all the fret slots in one fell swoop?
Or a gang saw that like pulls all the fret slots all at one time.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know what tool I would really like to have though, and we could get this, but I don't see it happening anytime in the near future, is a jointer that's 14 inches wide or wider.
Yeah.
A mega wide joiner.
That would be neat.
We could use that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those tools where we would use it for 5 or 10 or 15 seconds on every guitar, but every guitar would have it, and that's all. And it would take up this massive footprint, and we'd use it for just a few seconds on every guitar.
Yeah. Yep. I have the one tool that I want. 4 words. Slack belt sander.
Slack belt sander.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a slack belt sander.
I don't even know if we would use it. I just like the idea of this giant whipping belt.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so I watched a video from a factory in China, and they cut out the shape of the guitar with a CNC machine. You know, top end, new machinery, and then everything else they did on that guitar, slack belt, and pin router. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Of all the things,
because the outside is like the easiest step in the whole world.
Yeah,
but and they had series of jigs and this and that, and they'd move it and
it's weird,
slack belt it.
It's just weird. Yeah,
and I was like, what the heck, man? Okay, that's cool.
Tim writes, what's a good tool for the 3-way toggle switch nuts that won't scratch the paint? One of these.
Yeah, there's an actual tool that looks like that, and it's got 2 different. Here, I'll get it.
So it's now, Tim. It will scratch the paint. You have to be very careful.
Yeah, we usually tape off.
And so I think Tim's going to go. I have one of those that scratches the paint.
Yeah, it's this tool.
Yep. And I think I got that one from Stu Mac. All of our student kits have one in there that came with the, was it Music Craft little tool set?
I think so.
Yeah. So you don't have to get the Stu Mac one. Although, guys, I want to tell you something. I've
seen.
Oh, I got an email from Stu Mac the other day, and it said, "Do you guys know that we have a forever guarantee?" And I'm like, well, "What does that mean?" And I forgot all about that one. So Stu Mac was like, they basically sent me a thing. They're like, "Did you know that if you like wear out a Z file, we'll send you a new one. Send it back and we'll send you a new one." And by the way, Z files are on sale right now. So if you've been waiting to get a Z file and you're one of those guys, you're like, I don't know if this is going to last very long. Get one and prove Stu Mac wrong. Yeah.
I'm going to make it my purpose in life to wear out a Z file, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Lots of luck.
I'm going to start just rusty nails. I'm going to crown rusty nails and all sorts of shit.
No, don't do that. Yeah. They'll be like, oh, that wasn't the intended
tool too. And it only fits like import.
Where did we get that? I think we got that from Crimson.
We got this from Crimson.
That's cool.
Yeah. But this is a Hosco tool actually.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty neat. It does a lot of neat things, but it fits that too. The other thing you can do is I have like a set of really good they're like pliers, but the tip is wide and angled so that it just really grips really well.
Okay.
And if you do a little bit of tape and you do it right, it's not gonna.
That switch is kind of a tricky one.
The dumbest way. I like guitars that have
why not have a
hex nut?
A nut,
on it instead of that dopey round knurled thing.
Tsunami Tommy asks, New Year's Eve greetings. I know there's a lot going on, but still was curious about the fret saw blade a viewer sent in and saw setup. Tommy, that's a great one. In fact, that fellow sent me an email the other day. We just haven't gotten around to it yet. Not because we don't want to, but because, frankly, I keep forgetting.
Well, so I think one of the things that we don't want to do is tear apart our machine that works really well to put the blade on.
Yeah, we don't want to
until we have
pull it apart and get it set up again. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to have another radial install. And we've got a line on one from Jam. Jimmy found us one. We just got to go get it. And you know how it goes. Mm-hmm. It's 50 miles that way. And that's.
So we'll get it and we'll put it together and we'll show it off. And then we don't know what we'll do with the machine.
It will live somewhere.
Yeah, it will.
John writes, last question from me, Matt. How simple would it be to convert a jet pin router to single phase motor? Local 3-phase for sale, and I'm considering the upgrade. Well, John, it would be as easy as putting a new motor on there. Or it would be as easy as getting a phase converter.
Yeah.
Or it would be as easy as having 3-phase power run to your shop. Now, none of those are particularly easy or fun. But I know what you're saying, man. And if I had a line on a 3-phase, I've actually got 3-phase power in the shop, and I would love to have a 3-phase jet pin router here because I've got the ability to run it. But the fact of the matter is there's no easy way. It's not like switch some wires around and all of a sudden it's a single phase motor. You know, you would need to, the best way to do it is to, out of the options of you have a 3-phase tool, you need to run it. You can either get 3-phase power, get a 3-phase converter, or get a new motor. I would say the best way to do it is the most expensive way. And that's have 3-phase power run to your house or your shop if you don't already have that. The problem with that is if you ever move, you kind of, and now it's run new 3-phase power. The next best thing to do, I think, is to have the motor replaced with a single phase motor. I say that because the last option, phase converter, I've worked with some 3-phase conversion things and they do work, but they're not exactly super cool. Have you ever used one, Chris?
Okay. But I can imagine what
it's similar, but not equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah. And I have no idea what a motor would cost.
Well, frankly, a 3-phase converter, like a one that you can count on, is going to be more than a new motor.
Yeah.
So unless you got a lot of 3-phase power, then or a bunch of 3-phase motors, then
So our motor guy, we got a motor guy.
We got a motor guy now.
If I don't think it would be that big of a deal to get a motor.
No, I don't. Even if you had to rewind the motor.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you could do that.
I don't know.
I don't know if you could do that, but
that motor it's not like it's proprietary.
No,
it's pretty standard stuff.
You would need to take the case that fits to the little yoke circle thing, and
Yeah, but that's just bolted on.
Yeah.
And you start looking at tools that we have, and that could be done. I'd want to buy that pin router for like almost nothing.
If you can get that pin router for
a bunch of money on a
no
motor,
money,
doesn't matter.
Then you could do it for
Yep.
So that's what I would say, sir.
Yep.
There's lots of people asking questions. Matt and Chris, any truth to the ABR1 bridge sounding better than the Nashville Tune-o-matic? I don't like either one. As a matter of fact, my favorite Tune-o-matic is the one with the great big metal studs.
Oh yeah,
like that you find in the Epiphones. Like I don't like the ones with the little tiny
that just thread into.
I hate those.
I can't imagine. Well, first of all, sounding better is subjective. Sounding different, maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I'll bet you I couldn't hear it. Yeah. It seems to me that sound, electric guitar sound is a function of vibration. And if you can make the bridge more solid and sit more solid, you're probably going to end up with more vibration, and it might be louder. It might sustain longer. Wood doesn't equal sustain. I think string vibration equals sustain. So how you achieve that, I guess, is something. But other than that, I can't imagine. And part of it I think is just people wanting to be weird about stuff, and wanting to. I have this, you don't have it. It's so I'm gonna pretend mine's better.
So I'm gonna go chicks dig it. And,
but putting in those studs into wood is a giant pain in the butt.
How about this, Cecil? I would not advise you to change anything.
No. There's plenty of cool. There's hop ups for all of that stuff. The import stuff, the American stuff. If you've got the great big giant studs and you want to put in a Tone Pros that locks down and doesn't move at all, cool.
I love that Tone Pro stuff, man. To me, a bridge that you can like screw to the post.
Doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
The other thing though too is, just because it moves around a little bit with no strings on it, you run strings across it at an angle. It's pretty much there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I think eliminating movement is not a bad way to go.
Yeah. So, well, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. We're gonna meet.
Man, we're way beyond.
We are way behind. Limit, well, we had that kind of goofy, thing happen with the feed.
We got to get our hour in, right?
We got to get our hour in. That's right. So Chris and I are going to run over to Odyssey Beer Works. We're going to hang out with Jimmy and Leslie and Chris and Dina and say hey to everybody. So that will be a cool thing. And I'm not going to stay long. I got up early to shovel snow today.
Oh, did you?
You did too.
I shoveled snow. I didn't necessarily do it early.
Oh, okay. But. All right. So anyway, thanks guys for hanging out. And there will not be a reveal tomorrow, but there will be a video tomorrow. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. So maybe we'll show you something cool tomorrow. Who knows what it is? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this Matt at Texas Toast. Reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what we did. We'll see you next time. I wonder